ॐ ह्योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचं मां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। यं गुरुं हि स्वयं सत्यः प्रज्ञा भक्तिविनीतयः विहिप्तिश्चाविवृता नित्यं तं गुरुं प्रणमाम्यहम्। सदाः शिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। Where are we? 55, 56. So start from 51. तज्ञाः पश्यन्ति बुद्ध्या परमबलवतो माययाक्तं पतङ्गम् बुद्धावन्तः समुद्रे प्रतिफलितमरीच्यास्पदं वेधतस्तम् यादृग्यावानुपाधिः प्रतिफलति तथा ब्रह्म तस्मिन् यथास्यम् प्राप्तादर्शानुरूपम् प्रतिफलति यथावस्थितम् तत्सदैवम्। एको भानुस्तटस्थः प्रतिफलनवशात् यस्त्वनेकोदकान्तः नानात्वं यात्युपाधिस्थितिगतिसमताञ्चापि तद्वत्परात्मा भूतेषु चावदेषु प्रतिफलित इवा भाति तावत् स्वभावावच्छिन्नो यः परन्तु स्फुटमनुपहत भाति तावत् स्वभावैः। यद्वत्पीयूषरश्मौ दिनकरकिरणैः बिम्बितैरेति सान्द्रम् नाशं नैशं तमिस्रम् गृहगतमथवा मूर्च्छितैः कांस्यपात्रे तद्वद्बुद्धौ परात्मद्युतिभिरनुपदम् बिम्बिताभिः समन्तात् भासन्ते हीन्द्रियास्य प्रसृतिभिरनिशम् रूपमुख्याः पदार्थाः पूर्णात्मानात्मभेदात् त्रिविधमिह परम् बुद्ध्यवच्छिन्नमन्यत् तत्रैवाभासमात्रम् गगनमिव जले त्रिप्रकारं विभाति अम्भोवच्छिन्नमस्मिन् प्रतिफलितमतः पाथसोऽन्तर्बहिश्च पूर्णावच्छिन्नयोगे प्रजतिलयमविद्यास्वकार्यैः सहैव दृश्यन्ते दारुणार्यः युगपदगणिताः स्तम्भसूत्रप्रयुक्ताः सङ्गीतं दर्शयन्त्यः व्यवहृतिमपरां लोकसिद्धाञ्च सर्वाम् सर्वत्रानुप्रविष्टात् अभिनवविभवात् यावदर्थानुबन्धात् तद्वत्सूत्रात्मसंज्ञात् व्यवहरति जगत् भूर्भुवस्वर्महोऽन्तम्। So in the previous verse, which we just read now, so various things in the world, not only in this world, but bhuhu, bhuvaha, suvaha, there are various layers of the universe which has been listed in our scriptures. So all of them keep functioning through something called Sutratma. And there he provided the example of the wooden dancing dolls. So tied by sutra, so too everything is sort of tied by sutra. Now in the next verse, so he presents this Sutratma is, so one level, like Virat, Sutratma, so they are at various levels of providing information about this universe. Various terms have been introduced. Sutratma is just one term. Now in the next verse, so he is referring to a particular chapter rather in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. So this is called as Murta Murta Brahmana. So how does Acharya get reminded of this? He gets reminded of this because so he is just talking about the various worlds that are tangible to us. So bhuhu, bhuvaha, suvaha. So there are various layers. In fact, there are elaborate discussions that you will find in Puranas of these various lokas and so on and so forth. Now, all these various lokas are situated in some space. That is what you can think of. So, Akasha. Now he moves on further, gets reminded of where are all these lokas which are suspended as if in space. So where does that lie? So that is the kind of thing that he is trying to present, reminding himself of a certain Brahmana which is called Murta Murta Brahmana. So if you look at, one is this Murta, the other is Amurta. Murta essentially refers to something which has a form. Amurta refers to formless. Okay, that is why we use the word Murti. So if you want to have Ishvara in some tangible form in front of you, you call it as a Murti. Okay, now let us read this verse and then we will switch back to the Shruti and then we will try to once again come back to the verse. Tatsatyam yatrikaleshu
Tatsatyam yatrikaleshu Tatsatyam yatrikaleshu
Anupahatamadaha
Anupahatamadaha
Pranadigyomamukhyam
Pranadigyomamukhyam
Yasmin Vishrantamaste
Yasmin Vishrantamaste Yasmin Vishrantamaste
Tadiha nigaditam
Tadiha nigaditam
Brahma satyasya satyam Brahma satyasya satyam Brahma satyasya satyam Nastyanyat kincha yadvat
Nastyanyat kincha yadvat Nastyanyat kincha yadvat
Paramadhikamataha
Paramadhikamataha
Nama satyasya satyam
Nama satyasya satyam Nama satyasya satyam
Satyatyacheti 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 Murtadyupahitamaparam 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 Satyamasyapi satyam Satyamsyapi satyam. Satyamsyapi satyam. This is an interesting phrase that we find in Upanishad. Satyasya satyam. Satyasya satyam pranavi satyam teshamesha satyam. So this is something which is often quoted in various discussions. So here Brahman is described as Satyasya satyam. So that you find at the end of the second quarter of the verse. Brahma Satyasya satyam. Before that he says Tat satyam yat trikaleshu anupahatam. So the definition of satyam is being brought out here in the first quarter of the verse. What is it that you define as satyam? Tat satyam. What is satyam? Yat trikaleshu anupahatam. Trikaleshu anupahatam. That which does not get itself destroyed in all the three times. Okay? That which does not change, that which does not perish. Okay? Anupahataha. Upahataha, anupahataha. Na upahataha. Okay. So that which doesn't get sublated at any point of time is what you call as satyam. At any point of time, trikaleshu. Trikaleshu, in fact, this itself is something which is very difficult to even define what is time. But anyway, I will give you a very simple definition which is there. So it has been provided by Naiyayikas for transactional purposes. Okay? Atitadi vyavahara hetuh kalaha. Simple definition. Okay? So what is kala? Suppose you ask what is time. Okay? So that which enables you to talk. So yesterday, today, tomorrow and so on. That is time. Understand? So what is time means? So that concept which enables you to talk about, so past, present and future is time. So there are various very interesting discussions. So since some scholars are here, I'll just tell you, I'll tempt you. So at one point of time I spent quite a bit of time. I think even some article came out. So this brilliant person, so Sri Harsha, in his Khandana Khanda Khadyaka. Okay? So there are a couple of chapters which are exclusively devoted to discuss about time. Okay? So then, see, after all, when you want to say past, so it has to be anchored somewhere. Where will you anchor? You will anchor in present. And this present will become past. Okay? So tomorrow, so then ultimately you have to boil to the question, how do you define present? Okay? So because past and future are dependent on present. So anyway, so without getting into philosophical debates and discussions, we just understand past, present and future. So now, with that understanding, whatever that defies, okay, so this time scale, past, present and future, and it is present all the time, so that you call as satyam. So this is the definition that we take. Tat satyam yat trikaleshu anupahatam. So this is abstract definition. Now he says adaha pranadivyoma mukhyam. So adaha pranadivyoma mukhyam. So this adaha is adashabda. So adaha means that. So that kind of a thing. Okay. So adaha. So pranadik vyoma mukhyam is in neuter gender, therefore he uses the word adaha. So that pranadik vyoma etc. Mukhyam here means etc. So now one thing is very clear to us, that so we find various things in our day-to-day transactions. which have very short life. Okay. So mosquito. So something which is extremely short-lived. Okay. So its life is dependent on when you stamp. Okay. So that is what its lifetime is. So that is how. So they are very, very short-lived. Whereas there are other things which you can think of longer time. So this prana, dik, vyoma. So he is just listing a few of them. In fact, this actually stems from in the Puranic description. So there are various lokas, so for which also some timeline has been specified. Okay, so it is like today. So this people who study this geology, etc. So they come up with some ideas, theories, so that this will submerge at this point of time. So if you go to geological times. So then the whole planet was submerged with water, and then suddenly something will spring up and so on and so forth. And that keeps moving. So all these things we say. So there is a certain lifetime, but that those are geological time scales. Okay. So compared to our own human lifetime, so this geological lifetime is very, very huge. So that you can call as Satyam. Understand? So compared to Akasha, if you can think of, Dik, if you can think of, so they are something which you cannot even conceive of having some end for it. Okay. So this is what you have to understand. He says, Prana Digvyoma Mukhyam. So these are all things which are known to be existing in all three times. Okay. Obviously in your lifetime, or for several thousands of generations, they are going to exist. Okay, and therefore they can be described as Trikaleshu Anupahatam, and therefore one can call them as Satyam. Okay, Tat Satyam Yat Trikaleshu Anupahatam Madaha Prana Digvyoma Mukhyam. So how do you understand? Yat Trikaleshu Anupahatam Tat Satyam. Tat Pranadigyoma Mukhyam api, therefore Satyam. Pranadigyoma Mukhyam Yat Tat Satyam. So just take that. Then he says, this Pranadigyoma Mukhyam also Yasmin Vishranti Maste. Okay. So this Pranadigyoma Mukhyam, so Tat Pranadigyoma Mukhyam, which is described as Sat, Yasmin Vishranti Maste. So wherever they also go and sublate themselves. Okay? Yasmin Vishranti Maste. How do you know whether they will have a date of death? Okay, sometime. How do you know? This is something which many branches of science keep persuading this question. So philosophers do in a particular way, physics people also do in a particular way. And now let us understand that there is a certain convergence in the views, that even the space-time etc. which you think of as permanent is not so. So they are also emergent. So they are not permanent but emergent. So is the understanding today. So there is a sort of convergence in view. So therefore let us understand that even this prana, dik, vyoma etc. After all, this is very easy. Dik, when you want to say, how do you define? So with reference to sunrise, sunset, you can think of. Okay? But the sun and moon themselves may collapse at some point of time. Then who is there to define it? If not us, somewhere else in some other planet somebody should be there. Then you have to think of defining something called some other north. After all, we define north with reference to the spin of the earth. You understand? So once you define some north, so with reference to that, at a given location, you will point out. Okay, that anyway depends on the location where you are also. So anyway, so these are things which one can conceive of, okay, to be having a end. Okay, so the notion of these things also get over at some point of time. So that is what he is referring to. Yasmin Vishranti Maste. Okay. So if the earth, sun, moon, etc., the whole planet system, suppose the sun bulges, okay, all of them will be gobbled. So then that will go on to merge with something else. So that is how the picture is currently, this cosmological picture. Or they may get sucked into something. So wherever they get sucked into, and all things, nothing left. Okay, so all of them get sucked into. Now, when I say all of them get sucked into, these are all Murta Padarthas. You have to understand. So, Murta means that which has some form. Now, this Akasha is not a Murta Padartha. In fact, there is a beautiful passage which I will be just reading now from the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. So, this Murta and Amurta are just two ways in which you can specify the nature. So you can also think of matter and energy. Okay. So energy. So what form means? So you have to prefix this mechanical energy, the electrical energy, the magnetic energy, this energy, that energy. Show me energy alone means. How will you show? So electromagnetic radiation is energy. Sun has solar energy. So there are various things. Now, so one can call them as Amurta in its some form. You can think of Amurta as a notion. So this Yasmin Vishranti Maste. So that entity we call as Satyasya Satyam. So these are all Satyas for us, and wherever they, okay, so go also, okay, so lose themselves into whichever form, that form we call as Satyasya Satyam. Okay, so this is what this first half of the verse says. Now let me quickly read one portion of this Murta Brahmana, the beginning mantra. See here, this Brihadaranyaka Dvitiyadhyaya Tritiya Brahmana. Okay, so that is how it starts with Dve Vava Brahmano Rupe Murtanchaiva Murtancha Martyancha Amritancha Sthitancha Yacha Satcha Tyacha. Okay, repeat, this is very interesting. Dve Vava Brahmano Rupe
Dve Vava Brahmano Rupe
Murtanchaiva Murtancha
Murtanchaiva Murtancha
Martyancha Amritancha
Martyancha Amritancha
Sthitancha Yacha Satchatyacha. Okay, this is the first mantra, okay, of this Tritiya Brahmana. And here basically there is some interesting discussion. I will just highlight some aspects of the Bhashya which is very interesting. Dve Vava Brahmano Rupe. This word Vava is used to Avadharanarthaha. Vava Shabdaha Avadharanarthaha Eva. It is used in that sense. So Dve Vava means there are only two forms. Brahmano Rupe. Dve Evetyathaha. Then he says Brahmanaha Paramatmanaha Rupe. There, Acharya says, Rupyate yabhyam arupam param brahma avidyadhyaropana avidyadhyaropya Rupyamanabhyam. So Rupyate means, so Rupyate Yabhyam. So that which is made known to you by which form? Rupyate means something which is made known to you. So suppose this Rupyata you can even understand. Suppose you have some doubt whether there is electricity or not. So you have to insert a tester and if the light glows, so then you say electricity is there. This is a Rupana. You understand? So that which is not tangible to you, okay, so the presence of it is established by some means. So that which is made known through some form, okay, establishing something in some form to make you understand. That is what he is trying to say. Though it is Arupa, but it is through these two forms, Rupyate, Kete Dve. So 3 words, 3 syllables. Kete Dve. Okay. So what are they? See? So Murtanchaiva, Murtamevacha, Tatha Amurtancha, Amurtamevacha. Okay. So this Evakarartha, so that is what Avadharana he was saying. Now something more interesting. In this mantra, so that's why I wanted you to read. Murtancha, Amurtancha. Having said that, he lists 3 more pairs of things. Martyancha, Amurtancha, Sthitancha, Yacha, Satchatyacha. Okay, so we have to understand this. So all this is there in this sloka in some form. So Martyancha, Amurtancha. So Martya is very simple for us to understand. So that which perishes. Amartya is something that which does not perish. Martyancha, Amurtancha. But before explaining these pairs, Bhagavad-pada introduces a certain phrase. He says, Antaranita svatna visheshane murta murte dve evetyavadharyete. Antarnita swatma visheshane. Okay? So it is a very interesting term. So something is visheshya and something is visheshana. Visheshya is so that which you want to describe or you want to show that this is different from the other and so on. And visheshana is an adjective to that. Okay? So bring that blue pen, suppose you say. So if there are many pens, this blue is visheshana. Okay, so blue is visheshana. So here he is saying Antarnita swatma visheshane means this very terms murta and amurta. He is saying so they basically capture within themselves what may be called as qualifiers, visheshanas. So Antarnita means they have themselves captured. What are the things that have been captured? So now comes 3 pairs. So first is Martyancha, Amurtancha. So this Martya you have to map to Murta and Amurta you have to map to Amurta. Okay. So Amurta, that which does not have a tangible form does not mean it does not exist. You understand? Okay. Murta, Amurta. Now, Martyancha, Amurtancha is first pair. The second pair, he says, Sthitancha Yacha. Sthitancha Yacha. So, Murta, so let us take this pen. Okay. So, Murta. This is a Murta. It has some form. Okay. And this pen is also sort of limited. So, limited in its dimension. And wherever you place, so it will be there. Okay, till some other force comes and disturbs it. So this sthita, generally that is what we understand. Sthitancha yacha. Sthitaha means so someone who is situated somewhere. That is what we generally understand. But Acharya here gives a different kind of an interpretation for that. Why does he do? So you should just think. So now let me read here. he says Martyancha Marana Dharmi. Okay, so Maranam is a dharma, so it is associated with Murta Padartha. So Murta Padartha is Dharmi. The one which possesses dharma is Dharmi. Maranam is a dharma for Murta Padartha. So you can just think of, how do you know that any Murta Padartha has Marana? So this is what one calls as Samanya Mukha Vyapti. So you can think of anything. So the Murta Padarthas are fruits. So they decay within a short while, a few days or a few months maximum. Right? Murta Padartha is the Sharira. You see, every Sharira is Nashwar. So most of the Murta Padarthas that we see around us, so be it a tree, be it something, so they are all Nashwaras. Okay? And therefore you generalize, whatever be the dimension of the Murta Padartha, they are all Nashwara. So therefore, Murta, you just conclude by Samanya Mukha Vyapti that it is Martya. So Maranam is a dharma of the Murta Padartha. So Marana Dharmi. So that is how he is using this term. Martyancha, Martyam Marana Dharmi. Then Amritam Tadviparitam. So these Amurta Padarthas you generally think of. Okay. So as Tadviparita, as if it does not have so any Marana. Okay, so that is what we think of. So therefore, he just Amritancha. Then he says Sthitancha. For that, he is doing a very interesting Vyakhyanam. Parichinnam Gati Purvakam Yat Sthasnu. Parichinnam Gati Purvakam Yat Sthasnu. The very word Sthasnu may be somewhat unfamiliar to you. Okay, so it's a very interesting word. Sthasnu, so essentially stems from stha dhatu, and then there is a suffix which has been added. That suffix is ksnu. Ksnu. Ik is nu. Okay, ksnu. And once I give you a couple of more examples, then you will understand. So that it is not something which is that unfamiliar to you. Okay. You would have heard the word Jishnu. Okay. Jishnu. So G, after G you have Jishnu. Okay, Jishnu, many people have this name Jishnu. So this basically, there is a sutra which Panini has introduced to explain the origin of a few terms. I'll tell you the sutra. Glajisthaschaksnuh. 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 Cha is just and. Okay, that is for what purpose I will explain. But at least these three things are clear. Gla, ji, stha. After these three, when you want to refer to the property of themselves having that as the characteristics. Characteristic means, so stha is the characteristic of that entity, then you can describe as sthasnu. So Ji, so Jishnuhu when you want to say, so Jaye, suppose you want to say. So one who is always victorious. Okay, Tachilye Dyoti. When you want to indicate Tachilyam, so then you use this suffix. Okay, Ksnuhu. Okay, now Glasnuhu first. Glasnuhu. So Gla means Glayati. Suppose you want to describe a person who is always somewhat despondent. Okay, so there is absolutely no blossom in his face. Then you can describe this fellow as Glasnuhu. And one who is always vibrant, enthusiasm, one wants to win. So then you call him Jishnuhu. Okay, so Sthasnuhu refers to all those entities. Okay, now the Acharya is using this term. See here, Parichinnam Gati Purvakam Sthasnu. So this term that he is trying to see, this all these entities. so which seem to be stationary, etc., they are all parichinna, obviously. So when you want to say that they are in a particular place, obviously it is parichinna. In a space they are sort of confined. Okay. So though things may be moving on the earth, but they are all glued to the earth. You understand? So with reference to earth, they are stationary only. Okay? That may be orbiting somewhere. I'm just saying. So anything that you can think of as limited. So in order to understand what Acharya tries to convey here, see, he is saying sthitancha. Okay? So which means parichinnam yat sthasnu. Then he moves on and then says, what does that cha mean in the sutra? Gla jis thas chaksnu. Then that cha, so it is said, so through that cha and, so that comes from elsewhere, jumps, bhu. Okay, so in which case the word will be bhushnu. Okay, so bhushnu. So what can you understand from bhushnu? Maybe you can understand some fellow who wants to live forever. Bhavitum, see, tachilyam yasya. Or bhavitum can mean various things. Anyway, so bhushnu is the term. Okay, so bhu has various meanings. So here, so this is the sutra, sthasnu. Now let us move on. And yetcha is also very interesting here. Yetcha, what do you understand? Yetu cha. So yetu means whichever, tatu, that. So that does not fit in here. Therefore, Acharya so defines this. Yati iti yat. Okay? Yati iti yat. So what is yati? And this yati you have to understand as something which is opposite to, see, sthitancha yacha. Okay? So for sthitam you said parichinnam. Okay? So now you move to yat and then you have to describe as aparichinnam. In order to bring the idea of aparichinnatvam, so here yaccha, yati, tiyat. Yati means generally you understand that which goes. But here you have to understand that which goes everywhere. Means when you go, you are not here. So here it is present everywhere and it moves. So in which case it can capture space. Sarvatra yati. You understand? So if you move in this direction, you can't move in this direction. But space, so it can be there everywhere. So it is in that sense he uses yati tiyat vyapi aparichinnam sthita viparitam. Okay? So yati simultaneously. Okay? So simultaneously in all directions. Okay? So this is something which is very interesting even when you want to study cosmology. So they will say, so wherever you go and situate yourself in this universe, you will see every direction is expanding. How is it possible? This isotropy and homogeneity is something which is assumed by us. Anyway, so that is something which is very interesting point. So similarly, one can easily understand this yati. It is for this reason I just wanted to tell you. So isotropic and homogeneous means. So how? Anyway, so vyapi aparichinnam. Okay. So then he says satchatyacha. Okay. Satcha saditi anyebhya visheshyamana asadharana dharma visheshanavat asha visheshavat tyacha tad viparitam tyat ityeva sarvada parokshabhidhanarham. Okay, let me just tell you this. There are different ways of classifying whatever you observe in this universe. You can classify as I, not I, Murta, Amurta, Chetana, Achetana, various things you can think of. Here, what Acharya tries to do is, as far as this mantra goes, it says, Dvevava Brahmano Rupe, Murtancha, Amurtancha. And these two terms basically capture whatever is conveyed by all the other pairs here. So the first one will go to Murta and the second one will go to Amurta. So let us quickly recapitulate. So here Murta has the property of Mriti, Marana Dharmi. Okay, so that is Marana Dharmi, it is Parichinna. Then the third aspect is Sat. So there are, if you look at the other way around, so generally, I mean, you just say Atmana Akasha Sambhutaha Akashad Vayu Vayu Agni Agni Rapaha, then this Panchabhuta you describe. Among the Panchabhutas, the first three are Murtas and the later two are Amurtas. Okay, so Vayu and Akasha are Murta and Prithvi Aptejaha is Murta. Now, if you look at carefully, why did Acharya describe this Sthitam as Parichinnam? Okay, so the other one, see, since Vayu and Akasha are Amurta, okay, so if you say Sthiti and Gati, then, so this Gati is not there for Akasha. You understand? Akasha does not have Gatimatvam. It is there everywhere. So, only Parichinna Padartha can have Gati. Okay? So here he is just conceiving of, so there is a specific reason, so why he had to interpret this way. So I will just leave it for you to think. And then we move on further with this shloka. So this, no. So Yati, the term, that is why I said, so Yati,
though it means
I said it moves in all directions. So this is something which you cannot visualize. This is just a conceptual understanding that you may have to have. Okay. So now let us come back. Tat satyam yat trikaleshu anupahatamadaha pranadigyoma mukhyam Yasmin Vishranti Maste. Okay, Yasmin Vishranti Maste. This is both Murta and Murta. Yasmin Vishranti Maste Tadiha Nigaditam Brahma Satyasya Satyam. So this is how this Murta Brahmana begins. But then I will quickly read the last mantra. So where you find the term Satyasya Satyam. And then we will complete this verse and once again revisit this. So here he will say, after there are only 6 mantras in this Brahmana. The last mantra, 6th, ends like this. Athata adesho neti neti nahyetasmaditi neti anyat paramasti atha namadheyam satyasya satyamiti prana vai satyam teshamesha satyam. So this is how the third Brahmana ends. Okay. He says, Athata Adesho Neti Neti. This is a very beautiful mantra. I will quickly try to summarize this for you. So here, Athata Adeshaha Neti Neti. Okay. So Neti Neti. So this is something which is extremely important. There are a lot of discussions which go on in Brahma Sutra also. The only way to describe this Brahman is Neti Neti. So that is the idea. Atha Adeshaha. Adeshaha means Upadeshaha, Nirdeshaha. Neti Neti. So this he explains. And then finally it ends with Prana Vi Satyasya Satyam Prana Vi Satyam Teshamesha Satyam. This Pranaha includes all of them. Okay, as we saw here. Pranadigyoma Mukhyam. So that is what Acharya has in his mind. Pranadigyoma Mukhyam Yasmin Vishranti Maste Tadiha Nigaditam Brahma Satyasya Satyam Nanyat Nastyanyat kincha yadvat paramadhikamato nama satyasya satyam. So this satyasya satyam iti nama. You have to understand, even this mantra, if you see, athata adesho neti neti nahyetasmaditi neti, having said that, see, it says नह्येतस्मादिति नेति अन्यत् परमस्ति अथ नामधेयम्. Namadheyam means one of the terms that you use to describe this Brahman is Satyasya Satyam. Atha Namadheyam. Namadheyam means by which you understand something. Okay? Namadheyam Satyasya Satyamiti. And why is it called Satyasya Satyam? Pranavai Satyam, Teshamesha Satyam. So that is what we said. So these are things which are apparently indestructible to us. Okay? So these are things which seem to be residing for all the three times to us, but there is an entity so on which they are also based on, and that entity, primordial entity, so this is Satyasya Satyam, because they also go and merge with that. Therefore it is Satyasya Satyam. So that is what this mantra says. Now let us come to this. Nastyanyat kincha yadvat param adhikamataha. So ataha adhikam nasti anyat. Nastyanyat param. Param means something which is far more superior than this. So this superiority is in terms of the longevity for which they are. Okay. So nastyanyat. So therefore, ataha param anyat nastyanyat kincha yadvat param adhikaha. Yadvat means like that. So that which was described earlier, yadvat, so similar to that, param anyat nasti. Okay? Adhikam ataha nama. Therefore, the name is Satyasya Satyam. Okay, therefore it is called Satyasya Satyam. This is another way of looking at it. Okay, so there is nothing which is superior to this, and therefore it is called Satyasya Satyam, because those inferior things which are superior to us are also described as Satyam. This is another way. Then he says Sachatyacheti Murtadyupahitam param Satyam asyapi satyam. Murtadyupahitam aparam. Murtadi, when he says, so through Murta you have to understand all that which were referred to. Okay, just now whatever we said. Okay, Murtancha, Amurtancha, and then of course all these so Visheshanas that were given there. Murtadyupahitam aparam satyam. So these are apara satyas. Okay, so there is parasatya, aparasatya. So it is just so this param means something which is far more superior. Okay, so this is aparam. So this aparam is this param and aparam. So this division is obviously based on certain criteria. So param aparam satyam asyaha api satyam. So these are all things which are aparasatya. You just take these 5 elements. After all, they are made up of these 5 elements. So these are all aparasatyas. And there is something called parasatyam, and therefore that is described as Satyasya Satyam. There are 3 ways in which he is trying to justify the term Satyasya Satyam based on this mantra that we were just discussing here. Okay. So now let me just very quickly take you through some panktis in the Bhashya which we find here. So there is a very long Bhashya, so those who are interested, so they may go and refer to the Bhashya of, this is a very beautiful commentary wherein very interesting discussions keep coming. I'll just read a couple of sentences here and there. So he says, Tasmat Shrutyartha Kalpana Kushalaha Sarva Eva Upanishadamartham Anyatha Kurvanti. So those who have a very interesting observation that Acharya makes. This is a very similar observation that you will find at the beginning of Bhagavad Gita Bhashya also. Various people keep interpreting this in various ways, and therefore I try to provide a cogent interpretation for all that. That is how he commences. Here it is much more interesting. Tasmat Shrutyartha Kalpana Kushalaha. So Kalpana Kushalaha means they have a variety of imagination and they keep doing that. Sarvayeva Upanishadamartham Anyatha Kurvanti Tathapi Vedarthaschet Syat Kamam Bhavatu Name Dveshaha. It's a very interesting statement. See, Vedarthaschet. So if their interpretation, so that is what, see, so he will always Dustarkat Sivirammitam Shrutimatastarko Anusandhiyatam. So their tarka, so as long as it is in conformity with the overall idea that is being conveyed with Veda, it is fine with me. Vedarthaschet Kamam Bhavatu Name Dveshaha. But that doesn't seem to be so. Okay, so this is somewhere he says during the argument. Then he concludes that para by saying, Tasmat Vedartha Mudhanam Swachitta Prabhavaha Evamadi Kalpanaha Aksharabahyaha Nahyaksharabakhyo Vedartha Vedarthopakariva Nirapekshatvad Vedasya Pramanyam Prati. So and so on. So he just moves on. It is a very interesting bhashya which goes on somewhere in the form of a dialogue. Okay. So, okay. Now towards the end there is something which I wanted to convey. So this neti neti so is something which we have to understand. So athata adesho neti neti nahyetasmaditi neti anyat paramasti. That is how it goes. This neti neti so is a phrase which we have to understand in the context in which it has been introduced by the Shruti. Why should you describe it that way? So here let me read one or two sentences and then I will try to elaborate. Here he says, Evam niravashesham satyasya sarupam abhidhaya yattat satyasya satyam avochama tasyaiva swarupavadharanartham brahmanaha idamarabhyate. Swarupavadharanartham idamarabhyate. Okay. So this is a certain phrase which has been used and it has been explained to you with reference to some elements which you understand as satyam and therefore satyasya satyam. But what is the true real way of understanding it? Okay. So atha anantaram satyasya swarupa nirdeshantaram yat satyasya satyam tadeva avedayishyate yasmat ataha tasmat satyasya satyam swarupam nirdekshyaamaha adeshaha nirdeshaha brahmanaha kaf punaraso nirdeshaha ityuchyate neti neti tyevam nirdeshaha. What is the actual description that may really fit in if you probe thoroughly? Okay, how do we understand this? You can only understand by negation or not by description. This is what he is trying to say. Okay, the only way by which you can try to describe him more closely is only by neti neti. So nanu katham abhyam neti neti iti shabdabhyam satyasya satyam nirdidikshitamiti. Okay, nirdidikshitam means nirdeshtum ishtam. Nirdidikshitamiti uchyate sarvopati vishesha apohena. So Acharya himself explains, Yasmin nakaschid visheshosti. Okay, Yasmin nakaschid visheshosti. Namava, Rupamva, Karmava, Bhedova, Jatirva, Gunova. So let me just dwell a couple of minutes here. Yasmin nakaschid visheshosti is something which we have to understand, then things will fit in. After all, before something gets emerged out, can you think of any name or form? Only when there is a tangible matter, you have to find some way to describe it and therefore you associate some name to it. And the form is something which is all the more essential for you in order to describe. Now, before anything comes into some tangible form, where is the question of name or form? So that is what he is trying to say. So you are conceiving of some situation wherein there is absolutely not even space and time. Okay, there is something, that much I know. And that thing, so you have to describe now. So how will you describe? So you basically know something which is of name and form, and therefore not this, not this, not this, not this is the only way. And here he is saying, see, nama va, rupam va, karma va, bhedo va. You understand? There is only one entity means there is no question of bheda. So naming also comes only when there is second entity. Okay? Nama va, rupam va, karma va. So karma you can think of only with reference to some entity and some other entity. I am moving from here to there means, so I am dropping this pen means, so there should be many entities and there should be a process. So all these things are not there. Okay? So that is the satyasya satyam that you are talking about. Okay? So therefore he says nama va, rupam va, karma va, bhedo va, jatir va, guno va. Tadvarena hi Shabda pravritti bhavati. Shabda pravritti is so using some sentences, okay, so naming something, describing a process, etc. is all based on any of these things that are there. But we are talking of that entity sadeva somedam agre asidekam dvitiyam. So that entity so may pick up something at some point of time, but they are not satya all the time. So you are referring to satyasya satyam. So this satyam you can refer to by various names, forms and so on, by various things, properties. But here, the satyasya satyam, there is no way. Therefore he says, Nateshang kaschid visheshaha brahmani asti ataha nirdeshtum shakyate idam taditi Gaurasau spandate shuklo vishaniti yatha loke nirdishyate tatha. So loke nirdishyate means in this world, so you can think of describing things. So that is just an example. Gauhu asau spandate. Gauhu asau spandate shuklaha vishani. Okay, vishani means it is so large horned and so on and so forth. Vishaniti yatha loke nirdishyate tatha. So there is a certain property based on which you give some description. There is some karma, therefore you give some description. But we are talking of an entity. So therefore he says, Adhyaropita namarupa karma dvarena brahma nirdishyate vijnanam anandam brahma. Okay? So vijnana ghana eva brahma atma ityevadi shabdaihi yada punaha swarupena nirdidikshitam bhavati Nirasta sarvopadhi vishesham tada nashakyate kenachidavi prakarena nirdeshtum tada ayameva abhyupayaha. See, yaduta prapta nirdesha nishedadvarena neti neti iti nirdeshaha. So if you think of this kind of a problem, even when you think of what is the prime substance out of which the whole universe is made, so if you probe deeply, so then you will end up with neti neti. Okay. I can tell you for sure. Okay, that is how it really happens. Okay, so this is something which has been very deeply contemplated. I am not saying that the process is same. Okay, but the ultimate result that you will get is essentially the same. Okay. In fact, there is a very interesting statement. So I remember reading this. So with this I will. So there is some more interesting thing. So which we can just leave it now. See, there was a Nobel laureate in biology. So at some, I think, I don't know whether it is a Nobel speech or some speech somewhere. So he is just making this statement. I started my career with the question, what is life? Okay. So then he says, I started investigation, so whether this has life, this has life. When I approached through reductionist approach, so I went to molecules, and then from there I came down. But none of them have life. So now I don't know how to define life. Okay, you understand? So when you come down, and then, so there is absolutely nothing that you will be finding. But some sort of a complex mixture of all this, so gives rise to various properties which we keep describing. So we are talking of this primordial entity. So then there is no way that we will be able to define. So that is the idea that is being conveyed through this neti neti, and that is called satyasya satyam. Okay. So let us read this verse and close the class. Tat satyam yatrikaleeshvanupahatamatah pranadigvyoma mukhyam yasmin vishrantamaste tadiha nigaditam brahma satyasya satyam nastyanyat kincha yadvat paramadhikamatah nama satyasya satyam Satchatyacheti murtad vipahitam aparam satyamasyapi satyam. Om sarve psikhinas santu sarve santu niramayaha sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschid dukkha bhaveet. Om